God formed the human out of dust from the soil and blew into its nostrils the breath of life, and the human became a living being. God planted a garden in Eden, the land of pleasure in the east. And there God placed the human that God formed. God caused to spring from the soil every type of tree, desirable to look at and good to eat, and the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowing of good and evil. God took the human and set it in the Garden of Eden to work it and watch it. God commanded the human, saying,
"From the tree of the knowing of good and evil, you are not to eat from it. For on the day you eat from it, you will die." Yes, die.
Now God, seeing the human was alone, said,
"It is not good for the human to be alone. I will make a fitting companion for it."
So God caused a deep slumber to fall on the human, and while the human slept, God divided the human in two, then closed up the flesh from its side. God fashioned the two halves into male and female, and presented them to one another. When the man realized what had happened, he exclaimed,
"This is the one, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Now she will be woman and I will be man, because we are of one flesh."
This is why people leave their parents and become bonded to one another, and the two become one flesh. Now, the woman and the man were both naked, though they were not ashamed. But the snake was even more naked, and the most cunning of all the animals that God had made. The snake asked the woman,
"Did God really tell you both not to eat from the trees in the garden?"
"From the fruit of the other trees in the garden we may eat, but not from the tree that's in the midst of the garden. God said, 'You are not to eat from the tree, and you are not to touch it, lest you die.'"
Die? You will not die. Rather, God knows that on the day you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will become like gods, knowing good and evil.
The woman saw that the tree was good for eating, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and the tree was desirable to contemplate. She took from its fruit and ate, and also offered it to the man beside her, and he ate. Then the eyes of the two of them were opened, and they knew then that they were naked. They sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loincloths. Now they heard the sound of God who was walking in the garden at the breezy time of day. And the man and the woman hid themselves from the face of God amid the trees in the garden. God called to the humans and said to them,
"Where are you, humans?"
I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I am nude, and so I hid myself.
"Who told you you were nude? Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I forbade you to eat?"
It was the woman you gave to be my partner. She gave me the fruit from the tree, and so I ate.
"Woman, what is it that you have done?"
"The snake, he enticed me, and so I ate it."
"Snake? Because you have done this, you are forever changed from all the animals and from all the living things in the field. On your belly you will walk, and dust you will eat all the days of your life. You and the woman will be enemies. Your offspring will wound you on the head, and you will wound hers in the heel. Many and great will be the woman's work and her conceptions. There will be pain, and there will be desire, and your man will rule with you. Because you have listened to the voice of your woman and have eaten from the tree which I commanded you, saying, you are not to eat from it, the earth will be forever changed because of you. With painstaking labor you will eat of it all the days of your life. It will yield thistles when you try to eat the plants of the fields. By the sweat of your brow you will eat bread until you return to the earth, just as you were taken from it. You are dust, and to dust you will return.